All right, before we break for lunch, we have a very special sharing by Victoria Great. Now, she is the Vice President of Business Development here at Catapult, and she'll be telling us more about this really beautiful venue that we're in. So can we give a round of applause for Victoria? Thank you.
Thanks, Gerard. That's great. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Victoria. I wanted to extend a very warm welcome on behalf of Catapult. We're really thrilled to be hosting today's event here at Catapult. It feels a little bit like full circle because there are a number of factors that have all converged together. As many of you know, Catapult is a CapitaLand development. Jessica and her team from EcoBusiness live upstairs in our co-working space. So we have half a floor of co-working space with a number of companies there. So this is very much home to the EcoBusiness team. And thirdly, sustainability is something that is very much integral to us here at Catapult, both in terms of the physical building, so we're a platinum green mark development, but also in terms of the content and the types of events that we host, like today's event. I know there's lots of CapitaLand people in the audience, but who is a guest here visiting for the first time? Show of hands. Okay, good. Quite a few new faces, so welcome. So if you allow me, I just wanted to share a little bit about this space, but also put it within the context of sustainability and some of the topics that were discussed this morning. So we are a shared executive learning center. So actually it's the first one of its kind to be developed by CapitaLand here in Singapore, the first one actually in Southeast Asia. And we've been purpose-built for learning. So a lot of the design principles are based on neuroscience. We have our own in-house resident neuroscientist, Dr. James Andrade, who is the head of Catapult. And that's been built into both the design of the building, but also the delivery of a lot of the programs that we run here. We're part of an integrated development called Rochester Commons. So Catapult is 2 floors. We're the learning center. We have a hotel next door, Citadines, which many of you will know, CapitaLand property. And we have office space upstairs. And then we have 12 of those beautiful black and white heritage buildings, which you can see outside. So some of those are restaurants, 5 of them are restaurants, and the other 7 are office space. So, and it's all connected by that walkway, which we call the Knowledge Trail. Beautiful green environment outside. So our concept is called Live, Learn, Work, Play. Live, learn, work, play. That's our total ecosystem. And I think it's actually a really good example of the discussion we were just having now with a gentleman from NUS about quite a unique combination of indoors is very modern and high-tech, and you're going to experience some of our immersive spaces as well. But then outdoors, we have that beautiful green environment with the heritage buildings that have been preserved. So in the breaks, I definitely encourage you, if you want to get a bit of fresh air and take a walk, to take a wander outside. So that's a little bit about Catapult. We also curate learning programs. So we put together content in the areas of leadership, innovation, and something called Energy for Peak Performance, which is a kind of a fancy way of talking about health and well-being, but that's something that's very, very close to our heart. We're open for anyone who may want to host an event here. So we do a lot of conferences, workshops, trainings, off-sites, team buildings, retreats, things like that. We have a lot of learning programs. Upstairs is IMD. Some of you may be familiar with the Swiss business school IMD. They're hubbed out of Lausanne, but Catapult is actually their Asia-Pacific headquarters, and they use our space for all of their executive training. We hosted a wonderful wellness event with the School of Positive Psychology recently. That was hosted here. We do a lot of DEI events. On the weekends, on Sundays, we actually open our doors to an NGO called IDA. I don't know if any of you are familiar with them. IDA run financial literacy and communication programs for foreign domestic workers. So I was just here yesterday on Sunday. This room was filled, a very different audience. But these young ladies from the Philippines and Indonesia and Myanmar were sharing some of their presentations about their own personal plans for finance and education, investment, and also their business plans as well. And of course, eco-business, some of you may be familiar with their ESG training. So Junice and her team run that training here. So just a few examples of the type of events that we're really proud of that we can host here at Catapult. So I'll be around all this afternoon. I'd love, if anyone's interested to get a little tour and a sneak peek of some of the other spaces in Catapult, I'd be delighted to show you around. You're going to see one of our immersive spaces, the 180 Atlantis room. One of the breakouts are there. For the people who are online, we actually have a 360 virtual tour, which you can find on our Catapult website. And yep, I'm around during the break and lunchtime and looking forward to meeting many of you. Thank you very much.